What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're talking about Cosmic Crucible. Once again, I have Boylon on. How's it going, man?
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
So, the reason I'm bringing you on is you were part of the playtest for Cosmic Crucible. I signed up for it. I completely forgot. So I came back like a day later and was out of the test for this. And it was only one round. And you played through it. You had some thoughts and opinions. I'll link your original video down below. But I wanted to kind of bring you on and talk about it. Because as someone who's played Galaxy Heroes, I have a lot of experience with the Grand Arena over there. And kind of picking your brain about this Cosmic Crucible, watched some videos on it, kind of got a gist of what people are seeing so far with this, and we're just going to kind of talk about it. So, general opinion, what do you think of Cosmic Crucible so far?
I mean, I think that there's something there. It was fun. It was really fun to start, the setup, kind of day one. Like, I was actually really excited, maybe because it was a brand new thing. But I guess by the end of the playtest, I was kind of like, well, how much do a lot of these things that I'm actually doing matter? And, that comes to some of the contents of Cosmic Crucible, like the rooms, the kind of the strategy, theory crafting that I really hoped was there. And it might still be, and it could have been maybe the reason why I felt the way I did was because of the types of people that I was being mashed up with, maybe? I don't know.
You went up against bots, didn't you?
No, that was Tana. Apparently Tana went up against like 2 bots, but no, I had some real people. But my first and my third match were the same. For some reason, I guess he beat me, and then he lost the second match, and then that got him matched up with me on the third time.
Okay.
So I had 2 different people over 3 matches, but a different person on round 2. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's start by talking about how the points are determined here. I've got that pulled up here for people to see. So, there's several different points in here. Like, you get a basic number of points for winning. You also get knockouts, number of attempts, your healthy characters, and efficiency. And the efficiency seems to be rather controversial because this is dependent on the number of turns you take in your attack, which is weird.
And that's where I lost. When I did lose, I lost, plus or minus maybe 20 points. And so a lot of that stemmed from the efficiency, because for every turn you take, not like a round, but like every time any of your characters take a turn, you're losing 1 point.
Yeah.
Basically. And so this discourages, I think, using punch-ups, for example, or teams that are good, but maybe take a little bit longer to kill.
Like Secret Avengers?
Well, or Symbiotes, Astonishing X-Men. Maybe some of these are like, they can sustain, they can do the fight, but it takes a long, they're not high damage, right? So the characters who excel better are like Eternals, because they just like blow shit up. So.
Yeah. They've got the hard-hitting, high-damage abilities that can just wipe out the enemy team in one go.
So it's a bit of a problem, but
yeah, that one's weird. Like, I know in Grand Arena, instead of efficiency, like you can boost the points of your team by using an undersized team. Like, if I feel confident in my team, I can bring in, like, since I've got like high power Eternals, I can just use those 2, wipe out a team. And in Grand Arena, I would get more points for that because I'm using an undersized team. I kind of wonder would you be for that instead of efficiency, like using an undersized team getting bonus points?
I think that would be quite. It could be a mix. I would be quite interested in that because, in the early days of war, or maybe people still do it, with Eternals and stuff like that. Like, you could probably walk in with Alliance War with a handful of characters under 5.
I do it all the time with my Eternals. It's hilarious.
And so, yeah, I would get bonus points for doing that. So that would be fine. And and this is kind of like the punch ups. I don't know if they're really. I don't think they're rewarding you for punching up. Actually, I think because I don't think that matters. The difference in the team power. And so I think that makes a big difference, because if I should get rewarded, I don't know, for every 20k 50k of power or whatever it happens to be, that I'm up punching against another team and win, because that should amount to something, rather than it makes it seem like I'm taking my best teams and punching down or whatever and crushing them. And, and I'm actually scoring. I'm scoring better in efficiency as a result of that too, by absolutely crushing them, because I'm clearing it faster, presumably.
Yeah, there's I have to go back and look for it now, but one of their details of Cosmic Crucible, talking about like not about the punch ups. Like, I know if you're tied in terms of victory points or wins, the person with a higher TCP wins automatically, which feels antithetical, because wouldn't you want the person with the lower TCP to win in that?
Yeah, the underdog. I mean, I think it's very unlikely that you'll tie. I mean, because there's a lot of ways to lose points. I think it would be. I don't see that happening very often, based on what I saw. You know, there was enough point difference, I guess. You know, in especially the efficiency and health categories, that you probably won't tie. I mean, I think that's pretty unlikely, but.
Okay.
To set them anyways. Some people might, you know, like just like an alliance war, I can count on one hand how many times I've tied in an alliance war, to be honest. So
yeah. So one of the quick questions before we move on here: these victory points. Is there any like these victory point calculations you'd like to see integrated into alliance war? I know you're not big into alliance war. Would that make you care a little bit more about alliance war?
Like a victory point system in alliance war. Maybe,
yeah, so instead of just
know.
like giving like 5 points per room, like now you get like first attempt bonuses or efficiency, or not efficiency, but like however many characters.
Only if they give us all the attacks at the start of the day.
Yep.
So if I can do all of my attacks whenever I want and I don't have to wait on a time-based thing, sure. Because then it doesn't matter, right? And then we're trying to score for efficiency or whatever it happens to be, similar to Cosmic Crucible. But then maybe it would be too much like Cosmic Crucible, and therefore it probably won't happen. But, you know, I encourage anything that allows me to do any game mode when I want to, which is probably the pro to Cosmic Crucible. That's the one pro, is that I can do it when I want to do it.
Yeah. So moving on. Actually, before we talk about I want to ask a question real quick. This up here, this 18 out of 18. Are we set on the number of attacks we can use in Cosmic Crucible? What is that?
So that's 3. That equates to about 3 per room. So hypothetically, if you're terrible and you take 3 attacks per room, there's a maximum of 3 per room. There's 6 rooms, and so that's why the 18 is there. However, very unlikely you're actually going to go through that many attacks. And like I said, you're just absolutely terrible, and you can't clear any room.
That feels a little weird. Like it's kind
of janky because, you know, if you one shot the first 5, then it thinks that you have 13 attacks left, but you can only do 3 on the last room. So the way that it's set up, maybe it should just be 3 out of 3 for each room. The way that it's kind of like, instead of having it there with the 18 attacks total, it should just be 3 per room, and you should just see the 3 per room.
Yeah,
rather than an 18, because I think it's a bit confusing.
I'm kind of mixed on this, seeing that, because like this is all about efficiency and, you know, kind of doing like first attacks. Like, why have a limit on the number of attacks? Like, it doesn't seem like it's gonna be a big problem, but it seems a little weird to be bringing in this hard limit of number of attacks you can do instead of like.
I guess it's a screen time thing, but also because it's like Alliance War, so you can do damage to them and then just go back in with another team. So maybe they just don't want you to, like, I don't know, 6-shot.
Yeah.
Or something.
I guess.
You know, they want to discourage you from doing something like this, I guess.
Yeah. All right, so room bonuses. The way it's set up, there's, 6 rooms? Or there's 6 teams you can set on defense?
6 rooms, but 2 of them are plain rooms with nothing. You get the defender's advantage. You can see in the photo, defending characters gain 20% max health and 10% damage. That's for all 6 rooms, and then only 4 of them, the 4 of the bonus rooms, have special stuff. I mean, even though we only have the photo for one of them, I suppose, you know, it doesn't stop me from talking about each of the rooms.
Oh, no, you can talk about whatever you want to.
I actually don't think I'm not sure if in my video, if I specifically mentioned each and every room, because I wasn't sure at that time what I could say and what I can't say, but I think now, I mean, it's fine. The slowdown one from the photo, that was in it. And there was the most interesting one for me was one called, I forgot what the name of the room was called, but it was like Time Warp Rewind or something. So basically any turn bar mechanics did not work. And so that was kind of the most interesting one.
That's actually really cool. I like that.
And I didn't think about it all the time because I pulled in, like, I used my Infinity Watch on the offense, and then I killed someone with Gamora. I'm like, why didn't I get a free turn?
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, because I forgot about that it didn't work. I didn't end up losing, but, you know, I was like, oh, okay, I didn't think about that.
Okay, yeah, see, I kind of like that because then, like, with that room, you sit there and say, okay, I've got to use naturally high-speed characters in that room that don't get speed bar. So, like, for instance, blanking on it, Shadowland won't really work in that room as well because they don't get the speed bar boost at the start. So yeah, that's really cool. with the 6 rooms, you can see all 6 rooms at once and what's in there.
Yeah, so there is no mystery, and I think that's part of my negative critique on that, is that part of Alliance War, I guess, was that, like, if you, say, use your Infinity Watch very early on, you might get penalized later because, you know, there's another team that you should have kept that Infinity Watch for or something like that. And so now, by seeing all 6 rooms, you can kind of pretty much plan ahead, you know, however much time you want to spend doing that. You can plan each team, each of your offense teams to each team defense, you know, as long as you understand the counters, right? Then you could probably just pre-plan that and then win that way, I guess, maybe. You know, so
yeah, I know Tana.
No mystery.
I know Tana was a fan of it. We're not bashing on Tana or anything. Tana liked it. You didn't like it. There seems to be some mixed opinions on it. Yeah. I can see both sides of it. I mean, for me right now, I'm just kind of like, I have to wait and see what the rewards are going to be for this mode before I really get invested. But what else is there to really talk about? I mean, combat, there's no Alliance War bonuses here, so this is just like general game mode. So Heroes for Hire, garbage, and Grand Tournament, which I know plenty of people are going to be happy about that. It really seems like the all-around general purpose teams are really going to be best. So like Black Order, Infinity Watch, Eternals, because obviously yeah, any kind of like strong war defense team doesn't really seem to be as strong, or doesn't really seem to be that powerful. And
Young Avengers actually performed really well for me.
Yeah,
I think that they still function pretty good as a team, and at least, or maybe the person I went up against, you know, I won like 3 times with my I have a pretty big Young Avengers, but
I mean, you've got the 7 red Scroll Girl over here, so let's be real here.
It was fun to see that, and maybe because they're a newer team, maybe people are less and without having the war bonuses as well, both offensively. You know, like Weapon X, for example. I don't know if they'd necessarily be able to counter it without those war offense buffs. I'm not sure as easily, anyways. And so there is some fun. I think you'd probably want to like rip Shang-Chi out of Heroes for Hire and maybe use him offensively somewhere. Yeah, because he's a really strong character as well. So there is part of this like ripping characters out of some of your old war teams potentially and using them offensively in a hybrid. Yeah, that could happen. But a lot of the, like you said, a lot of the major meta offensive teams probably are very much still viable here. Weapon X is still probably viable despite not having their buffs. They're still a really strong team anyways.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see like what they're going to do, if they're going to end up giving us like Crucible exclusive teams. Because I know Tana was leaning in on the rumor that Excalibur was going to be like our first Crucible exclusive team or mode powered team, but it's all gonna really kind of come down to, are people gonna engage with this mode? And you talked about it in your video, the screen time with this. How much time did you spend each day playing this?
Outside of the first day, because I spent quite a bit on the preparation, you know, setting up. The biggest amount of time was deciding what defense that I wanted to set up in, especially the rooms that had the bonuses, because if you take a look at it, I mentioned in my video as well, that the second part of the text there that has the room specific stuff like the slowdown, that affects both sides, both offensive and defense. So I had to think about and make sure that the characters that I was using would not get impacted by that. You know, so I put some more thought into the defense there. How much that made a difference, I'm not sure. But, you know, like that's where I spent a lot of my time, probably about 45 minutes just setting up my defense, believe it or not, just for 16s, because I was like, okay, I got to make sure I understand my kits again and make sure I know every single buff that they do, so I'm not getting impacted by this.
Yeah.
But after that, I would say it was about 20 minutes, like just day to day.
Okay.
20 to 25 minutes maybe. And so really it comes down to, what are the rewards going to be? It seems like it's going to be, at the very least, it's going to be gear. So blue, purple, orange, teal, whatever, however many teal gear.
Yeah, we have no idea.
Is unclear. It's unclear if this character shards at this point.
Yeah, we have no idea what the rewards are going to be. Like, we're basically guessing, but yeah, I would say they're probably going to cram teal gear in here. Which
absolutely teal gear, but I'm not sure about the character shards because they haven't been clear about that.
Yeah, and I don't know, we'll see. Like, if they try to pass Crucible as, like, how they're releasing the floodgates on teal gear, I'm not too keen on that one, because they really kind of need to make it more widespread than, once again, throwing things into one game mode. We'll see how things work out with that.
Well, there's also the ELO to the ELO to consider as well.
Yeah,
so,
the
like,
matchmaking,
the matchmaking, and all of that.
Yeah, because that was
they've not had the best track record for this kind of stuff, and it's going to take a while for it to even out. I think, just like it did in Alliance War. So the first few weeks, maybe even the first few months, could be quite a bit of a slow road.
Yeah, no, I know Grand Arena for a long time, and I don't know if it still has that issue, has problems with matchmaking, where someone, like, you have your Galactic Legends in that game, which is like a step above Legendaries, and you would have someone with, like, all 6 Galactic Legends gets matched up against someone with 1. And you're like, well, what's going on here? Like, what's the matchmaking? Like, what's the point of me even trying at that point? So, final thoughts on Cosmic Crucible before we close things out.
I hope that they take some of the feedback and actually make some adjustments. There was quite a bit of feedback from a wide range of groups of people, and I think there was a lot of suggestions being made. So I hope that some of those are taken on board. But like I think we said that there's probably not going to be another playtest. So I am a little bit concerned as far as will any of these adjustments be made before we get it launched to us? And I really don't want it to be another RTA where it's like they're trying to make patchwork improvements every patch or every couple of weeks or whatever it is until they get to where they want it to be. I think it should be where it needs to be before it gets launched to us. So
yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it really kind of feels like the devs finally just gave up on RTA, said, here, we'll count Blitz wins as well, and we'll just kind of wash our hands of it.
I really don't. I'm afraid. I really don't want it to be another RTA kind of thing where where it sounds good on the surface and then people just kind of give up with it because they don't engage with it as much as we should have.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm cautious is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
But I want to like it. And I did in the beginning, and then it just more towards the end when I felt like, well, it kind of felt like a means to an end.
Right.
I didn't know what the rewards were going to be.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a different opinion because based on how I am with war. So
yeah. All right. Well, we'll see what they do. Hopefully, we do get another playtest with this. It definitely feels like it's still rough around the edges. They still got to do some polishing on it, kind of get things nailed down. We'll see what they do. But if you guys want to go see Boylon's video talking about Cosmic Crucible, make sure you go check out his channel. There'll be a link to it down below in the video description. Any thoughts you guys have, questions, comments, concerns about this game mode, anything you guys want to know, make sure to ask them down below as well. And if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that like button, share, and subscribe. And we will see you guys next time.